All right, welcome back to First Presbyterian Church's Pentecost Devotionals. I am here with Steve Gibbs.
Hello, everybody. Steve here.
Steve is joining us to discuss one of our spiritual gifts, and the spiritual gift we're gonna be talking about with him today is the gift of understanding. And so our passage today comes to us from 1 Samuel chapter 3, verses 1 and 4 through 11. And so it says, the boy Samuel ministered before the Lord under Eli. In those days, the word of the Lord was rare. There were not many visions. Then the Lord called Samuel. Samuel answered, "Here I am." And he ran to Eli and said, "Here I am, you called me." But Eli said, "I did not call. Go back and lie down." So he went and lied down. Again, the Lord called, "Samuel." And Samuel got up and went to Eli and said, "Here I am, you called me." "My son," Eli said, "I did not call. Go back and lie down." Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord. The word of the Lord had not been revealed to him. A third time the Lord called, "Samuel." And Samuel got up and went to Eli and said, "Here I am, you called me." Then Eli realized that the Lord was calling the boy. So Eli told Samuel, "Go and lie down. And if he calls you, say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening.'" So Samuel went and lay down in his place. The Lord came and stood there, calling as at the other times, "Samuel, Samuel." Then Samuel said, "Speak, for your servant is listening." And the Lord said to Samuel, "See, I am about to do something in Israel that will make the ears of everyone who hears about it tingle." So there we have our Samuel passage. Steve, we have asked you to respond to the following question of how does this gift, the gift of understanding, manifest in your life right now? How do you understand this? Understanding.
Well, I understand that there's no pancakes involved at this point, and there's no burgers to flip. So
Nope.
outside of the context of flipping burgers or pancakes, um, I think it struck me initially that there's a couple of different ways to understand things. And what I settled on, that what struck me about Samuel and Eli, and I really looked at it more from the perspective of Samuel, was the need for understanding getting beyond the day to day. Because in my mind, the first couple of times that Samuel heard a call, he thought it was Eli saying, "Hey, come on, we got to get something done. Hey, go plow the back 40 or fetch a pitcher of water," or something along those lines. And it wasn't. It was a larger call, a bigger call from God. And Samuel wasn't hearing it at first. He wasn't thinking outside his day to day. And eventually it took somebody else outside Samuel to sort of give him a shake and say, "Whoa, Samuel, this is not me calling you. This is your Lord. And you need to be ready, and you need to respond, and you need to understand how to respond." And so to me, what I took from that is, and why I often look at Sundays as my timeout, bench. We need to slow down, disassociate ourselves from the hectic activities of daily life, and make sure that we're listening for the larger call, and that we're not just paying attention to the call of the telephone or the computer or whatever we think it is that's calling us. So that's the gift of understanding that I would ask that people think about, at least from the perspective of Steve Gibbs. What do
Great.
you think?
I think it's great.
Okay, I'll do that anytime.
Wonderful. Well, let's end in prayer.
All right.
God, may we recognize the gifts you have given to each of us in our lives, and may they be used to further your will in the world. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Have a great one.
Shelley, thanks. See everybody. We'll see you at some point.